All right, welcome, Joy. It's good to have you here today. Oh, it's good to have us, isn't it? Okay, this is
It's
our
good to
very
have us
first
here
webinar.
today.
Yes, today, yeah. Yes, we're
Yes.
expecting more people to turn up, but we have 4 people already. Oh, awesome. Some people are waiting, admit or. Yeah, we have people joining us already. Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Welcome. So, Joy, this is our very first Weber Friends today. Is
Mm-hmm.
We're topic is a constructive approach to anger. This is a very will I say misunderstood topic, very topical topic, very intense topic because this is something that relates to everybody on earth. Now, as soon as we came up with this topic, one of the things some people ask me is anger, kilo and shelling. Now, why anger? What's all this about anger? I said, well, it's about time you come. You heard it in a different angle, what it is and what it isn't. Let's just see what it is. First of all, before I go to the, please tell us, because there's some people here now that don't know who you are. So, if you mind introducing yourself a little bit, so we can take it off from there.
Okay. So my
Yeah.
name is Joy Nwokolobia. I
Mm.
am a life coach, a 35 coach, and neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. Um, so I let me start with my qualifications, right? I went to university. I studied law. And then I did my master's in University of Wolverhampton. I did data analysis. However, I've always had a passion for mental health because first of all, as a child growing up, I'd always wanted to study psychology. But then again, because, as a millennial in those times, you're either a doctor, lawyer, or whatever. So I did law. And then as time went on, I had my own brief experience with, well, not brief, but my own experience with mental health issues. I had anxiety and depression, and it was very, very serious, and resurrected my desire for mental health space, and decided to go into this space to help people who are going through mental health situations, just to help them, like their healing body, basically. So that's it for me.
Okay. You've had your own episodes of mental health issues. Is it as a result of anger or
Yes.
something?
Sorry?
Um, so you've had your own episodes of mental health
Health
challenges.
issues. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you have anything? Do you have any episode or any challenge at all that relates to anger? One of the reasons that you're so passionate about anger issues or anger matters.
Oh my goodness. First of all, as a human being, you deal with anger consistently. And then me, I dealt with my fair share of anger constantly. Even sometimes there was a time it was a daily issue. Now it's not as recurring as it used to, because now, because of my what I've learned via experience and via education, it has helped me to master my anger to a large extent. Of course, we're a work in progress. I am a work in progress, because you cannot be so professional that you stop being human enough to be stop being angry. But yeah, I've had my brush with anger, and I'm doing quite well. I'm doing quite
You're doing
well.
quite well. Well, when it
Quite, I
comes
can
to
say
anger issues.
I'm okay. I'm better than I used to be. I could say that
Okay.
for sure. Yes.
Was there a time? Was there a time that it was that you were like unmanageable, like unreachable, and it has to do with because of anger or something? Like anger was one of the most things that you needed to deal with in your life.
Oh yes, that for sure. And for anybody who goes through mental health issues, there is definitely going to be anger you'll have to deal with. And even in the process of healing, um, just let me say this aside. People think that healing is such a nice thing you just go through and it's so nice, but healing is a very raw, messy process. And one of the processes of healing is anger. You face anger, you face anger. So yes, I've had times where I didn't manage my anger. Even sometimes, even with all my experience and work that I've done, sometimes I still have times when I do not manage my anger as much as I want to. But yes, I've had times when my anger wasn't controllable for me.
Okay, that's nice, Joy. This anger thing, this topic we are looking at today, there's a little twist in it. Because when you hear anger or when people mention anger, first thing that comes is the negative side of it or the negative
Exactly.
aspect of it. So yeah, so I know that when you reached
Exactly.
out to me, that when we started talking about developing this, oh, we got to see another angle towards this, that what it isn't that people actually thought it is. So, and there's a
Yeah.
whole lot, I know there's a whole lot that we are ready to give out today, and I know you are ready to give out as well. So many lessons and so many experiences. So, I don't know if you can just go ahead and shoot it, because we have just 1 hour, like we agreed. Well, we've already spent 6 minutes into this, and we know we have some important people. First of all, let me welcome the people we have here today. I want to appreciate Don Kester. By the way, Joy, you don't know, in fact, everybody here today, Don Kester is my president of the Crab Association Worldwide
Nice.
is here, and the vice president too, Madam Christie. The US joined, and in fact, I have my bosses here today, Madam Owume, who is also the social secretary in Abuja here. Oh God,
Nice.
I don't know who this Ross is, but I know this name. I know this Ross, but I don't know the name is not there. But you're welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Webby Friends, our very first one. This is Joy and Steve, and the topic of the Webby Friends is a constructive approach to anger. And we've been trying to introduce ourselves, just to let you know what this is about and why we want to do this. So, Joy, you said you have some things you want to teach us, or want to mention to us, some topics. So, can you just take it away? Let's just hear what you have for us.
Oh, okay. So since you introduced that we developed an aspect of anger that is hardly talked about, which is the positive side of anger. Because every time anybody talks about anger, they always talk about how it is very bad, how it is, they make it look like it's something that's the worst thing that can ever happen, which to some extent you can't blame people for having such opinions, because we've seen how the effects of anger has actually caused a lot of destruction in the world of today, or in our world,
Yeah.
since time. But the thing we have come to also realize is anger is not something we can do away with. It's one of the emotions that is part of our range that we can feel as human beings. So if we don't learn how to manage it and even see the positive side of it, or see why it is there, we're going to keep having problems, and it's going to keep being destructive to us.
Yeah.
So that's why one of the reasons why we decided to do this Webby Friends was to show people another angle of anger, or another aspect of anger. So today I'll be talking about the myths of anger, and there's quite a lot of myths about anger, and I can't exhaust it all, but I'll deal with a couple of them, and hopefully everyone will be able to see another side to anger. So one of the myths of anger is that anger is always negative. And yes, anger can be negative. Then anger is not always negative, because anger is what shows us that there is an imbalance in our day-to-day experience, or in our experience. So if something is signaling something, meaning there is for it to be negative, for it to get to that point of negativity, it means that there's something that you have not dealt with, really. So it could be a past trauma, it could be an injustice that is happening to you at a particular time. It could also be that somebody is crossing your boundaries, whatever it is. But the thing is, there is a root that actually caused the anger. So the root, the effect is what you're seeing as anger. So anger is not always negative. It just shows that there's something wrong, basically.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not muffling a bit because I'm a bit nervous, but please pardon me.
It's okay.
Yeah. So another myth of anger is that good people or healed people don't experience anger. It's a lie. As a human being, it doesn't matter whether you are healed or whether you are a good person or a bad person. Anger must happen to everybody as long as you're a human being. Things, like I said earlier, that indicates that there's injustice. So being good doesn't mean you're not going to experience anger. Being healed doesn't mean you're not going to experience anger. If anything, being healed experiencing anger as a healed person shows that you are even starting to experience health in your mind, because it shows that you are able to see where your boundaries are being crossed and you are able to identify it. So the only problem is just how you manage your anger when you are angry. So that's it. Then another myth of anger is that ignoring your anger will make it go away. Not true too. You cannot ignore your you cannot ignore anger. It's just like saying you want to ignore the fact that you can blink. Or maybe that's not a good enough example. Or you want to ignore the fact that you're hungry, and then if you ignore the fact that you're hungry, then your hunger will go away. It doesn't make any sense. And if you do ignore the fact that you're hungry, you're going to see the negative effect. So that's how it is too for anger. If you have anger in your system, you need to address it. You need to process it. You need to do something about it. You need to figure out why you are angry and not ignore it. Because if you ignore it, it forms into something else. That's when people's angers become uncontrollable. Sometimes this anger even morphs into like even bodily sickness, because if you're and then you can't breathe out in a healthy way. It morphs into things like high blood pressure, digestive issues, and different illnesses. In fact, most illnesses I've heard comes from holding in anger. So that's one of the things. Another myth of anger is that anger signals weakness, or that you're problematic, and that is also very, very far from the truth. Anger does not signify that anyone. Anger does not signify that you're a weak person. Anger does signify you're a problematic person.
Yes.
Going back to the beginning of what I said, anger is just an indication something has gone wrong. Yes. Management of anger is the main focus. So that's all I want to talk about with regards myth of anger. So do you mind if I continue?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Talking about another topic. Or do you want?
Yeah, go ahead, please. But first of all, you said something about anger causing some sicknesses, because this is something that a lot of people are not aware of. Most people don't know that some of the sicknesses they are at the hospital for, they are admitted in the hospital for, is actually as a result of the accumulation of anger in them. That I know I heard a particular story of how someone was diagnosed of cancer. And then, in fact, cancer is actually medically being understood as an incurable disease. And this cancer is something that was eating deep into this person. But this person has given up to that. He has decided, okay, since it's going to take me, let it take me. Until someone, actually the daughter, that told her, Mom, you have to learn to forgive my uncle. Say, forgive that person. I'd rather die than forgive the person. Mom, we don't say that. Forgive the person. So, yes. And then when she started learning to forgive the uncle, gradually the process of forgiving the brother that is the child's uncle, the daughter's uncle, then knowing that she was also going through the process of healing while she was still at the hospital. So when she had totally learned that, okay, I'm free now, a few weeks later, she went for another test and the cancer had gone. That's just one out of a
Wow.
million stories. Yes. And this is something that when you share with some people, funny enough, they might just ask you for the part two of the Nigerian movie. That's a fact. They might not even know this is something that is so serious. Yes. So I just wanted to mention that, or rather to
Very.
emphasize on that part you mentioned that some sicknesses could be caused by anger. So go ahead, please. We're with you. Thank you. Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
and to top onto what you said, like for those that are religious and they read the Bible, there's a part of the Bible in Proverbs 17:22 that says a joyful heart is good medicine. Medicine,
Yes.
I'm sure, for the body and all. So basically, it shows that if you're in an angry state, sickness will be there, and then if you're in a happy
Exactly.
state, so you would be, a healthy person in your body. So yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
So
With you.
my
Go ahead.
I
Go
should
ahead.
add, okay. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is, because you can't just give out, anger and the good sides and not talk about how to deal with anger, because anger is a reality of everybody. And sometimes all these things are easier said than done. It's easy to say,
Yeah.
oh yeah, anger is a good thing, power, use it to do what you need to do. And but so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give practical solutions on how to manage anger. Mind you, I'm also learning too, because like I said earlier, it doesn't matter whether you're a professional, you're a healed person, you will still experience anger. However, these things have worked for me a lot of the times, and also hopefully they'll
It'll
my
work for anybody
listeners.
else.
So
Yes.
yeah, to work for anybody as well. So these things have helped me, and then hopefully, yeah. Anyway, so one of the ways to deal with anger in a stress society, especially like Nigeria, because Nigeria is a very, very high stress country, and we know how anger for us is like per second per second.
Exactly.
So I'm going to be giving, yes, it's something you cannot avoid really, because the system is just not working out right for us. But anyways, even if it's not Nigeria, everywhere in the world too is highly stressed out in right now, even in the
Yeah.
West. So yeah, so this applies across board. So one of the things that to manage anger in a high stress environment is you have to accept the fact that anger is part of life. Anger is one of the things you will deal with. You have to fully accept it, because one of the things we've been programmed to believe is that anger is so bad and it should be repulsive. I mean, we should be
Yes.
repulsed by it. We should stay away from it as much as possible. And that has made things even grow worse for us. So one of the
Yes.
things we need to accept is, you know what, anger is going to happen regardless. There's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well just learn to live with it. So you accept the fact that anger is part of life, one of the range of emotions you have, and even embrace what it has to offer. So that's one of the ways to deal with it. Then number two, you have to understand why you are angry. This is very, very is a very, very layered point in itself, because one of the things I learned that has fairly reduced my anger, my explosive anger, was understanding all the reasons why I was angry. I had so
The
many
triggers.
reasons why I was angry. One,
Anger
yeah,
triggers.
I had so many triggers. Yeah, for me, the world did not make sense. I had my own personal issues growing up. And then another reason too that was a very big issue was the world did not make sense. And I saw a lot of injustice. And I'm somebody who's very justice-minded. And I saw a lot of injustice going on in the world. And I would see of the times how good people would be the ones suffering from. So all these things, they did something to my mind, made me grow angry. So I had to understand the root of why I was angry, and respect every single reason why I was angry. So that's another thing. It's not just to understand, but you have to acknowledge every reason why you are angry, and just understand it and just go into the root of why you're angry, basically. So
Just to add before you go ahead, before you continue there, Joy, just to add to what you just said.
Yeah.
This is a web friend, so I can interject, right? I'm free to interject.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add to what you just
Yes,
said,
of course.
what you just said is one of the reasons I don't like asking people the question, why are you angry? Because when you ask people why you're angry, the fact is that 95% of those answers to that question is inaccurate. People will always say, I'm not angry, but deep inside, this person is giving, because anger is a response. The response you are receiving from this person, either by language or any the response, in fact, the cause you're seeing, the effect you're receiving from this person shows everything anger. I'm still saying I'm not angry. That shows the person really has not really understood what anger is and why he or she is angry. So what I started asking people this time around, no longer why are you angry, is why are you not angry? Do you understand me? So instead of me asking you why
that's
you're angry, why are you not angry? Because if I ask you that question, the next thing you're going to ask me is, should I be angry? Why should I be angry? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
For those
Instead
that
of
have
you saying,
suppressed,
why are you angry? And you're saying you're not angry, but you were angry and you don't know that you're angry. You were denying that you're angry. So if I ask you why you're not angry, you start asking yourself questions like, should I be angry? Why should I be angry? I mean, that's this battle in your heart and in yourself. That's, in fact, sorry, I'm taking your time now. Go ahead, please. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. It's okay. I'm enjoying this. It's fine.
All right, go ahead. My time is coming, though.
Yes. So, another thing that is overlooked, especially for us women. We women, we have the reason we are also very prone to anger because of our hormones, especially during the times of our monthly flow and during the time of pregnancies, during the times of what's it called? This slipped my mind now. When a woman is having her, she's towards the end of her fertility time. I've forgotten, it just slipped my mind now. So our hormones really act up. So most of the times, to us women, we need to be conscious of the fact that we are very, very prone to being angry. And one of the reasons why we're angry during those times is because our hormones are usually out of order. So it is, if you notice as a man that keep getting angry, especially towards your period or towards, or you're pregnant or whatever, you need to go to the doctor and medical checks, because that could be one of the reasons why people are angry. And one of the ways to deal with it is to go to the hospital. We have Dr. Ike here. I'm sure he should be able to support my motion on this, right? When he has the time.
We have a lot of people here who really have some very important things they want to say or add up to this. Because trust me, the number of the persons we have here are very highly intelligent folks in this particular topic that will really have some things to add up. And we said it's going to be 1 hour, and we already have 24 minutes gone. So I don't know, because we really want to give them some time to add up together. So you have some more topics to drop off?
Just add through. I'll just breeze through what I have here, the remaining things I have. So another thing you could do in a high stress environment to help you reduce your propensity to get angry is have a daily routine. Prayers in the morning for some people who are religious, cooking, having a long walk, because what these things do is like they prepare you for the day. They keep you in an up state during the day. So even if you have things that want to get you upset, you are less likely to, explode, unlike if you didn't set yourself right for the day and you go into your day just without being intentional, and then you just go into your day and then somebody upsets you. Obviously, you're going to have like an explosive day. So you need to have time for yourself where you are doing some routine or the other to help keep calm, so you can be calm or as calm as you can be during your day in a hard environment. So that's another thing. Another thing one can do is separate controllable triggers from bull triggers. Like, for
Sorry,
instance,
say that again.
controllable
Say
separate
that again.
controllable triggers.
Okay.
There are things that could get there are controllable triggers, and then there are uncontrollable triggers, anger, right? Like, for instance, somebody who is a very orderly person and you don't like your environment being dirty, and then you're living amongst people, or you have neighbors you're living amongst neighbors, everybody is not going to be as orderly as you are. So if you're an orderly person, one of the ways to control your triggers for anger is, maybe you notice that your neighbors are not, they're not organized. You take the responsibility and then create like a schedule for cleaning, and then hold up a meeting, and then you guys organize yourselves so that you don't get upset by those things. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there are some times when your triggers just come to you. You cannot help it. Life happens. You're not the only person in the whole world. So things are happening, and then you cannot control what makes you upset. So when you see that you're in a space where you cannot control what makes you upset, try to breathe. These things work. Try to breathe. It is difficult, but try to breathe. And sometimes if you need to let it out, let it out. Just let it out. It's okay to let it out sometimes. You are a human being. You're dealing with human beings. Let it out. So
what
these are
if you
ways to...
What if you let it out? What if you let it out and the effect will be worse? Or will be like a permanent harm on someone? So can you find another way? Is there another way you can let it out so that it has that, just around our topic, we have constructively handled it? Because some angers, there's a story I'm going to read. Once you're done now, I'm going to read a story which I actually requested to read this story, because when we're working on this topic, I ran into the story and I said I'm going to read it, and it kind of bottles up a whole lot that we're going to talk about today. Now, we've been mentioned in our book. I know some people are surprised that we're mentioning book right now. In that, this story captures a lot about it. Yeah. So just back to the question. So, is there any advice you can give, that's a way you can let it out so you don't cause permanent harm on someone? Because sometimes that does happen.
Yes. When you're angry, sometimes you really cannot avoid it. You're going to be a villain in somebody's story sometimes. Really, that's just how it is. If you do something to upset somebody in a permanent way, it's good you take accountability. However, if you've done to avoid doing something permanent, just breathe. Try to do whatever. Sometimes walk away from the environment if you're so upset. Walk away from the environment or try to stay away from the environment as much as possible. If you can, keep quiet. Some people stress balls. If you're somebody that gets angry quite often, you could have, there's something they call a stress ball. You could hold that and then just keep squeezing it when you're angry. So don't, it kind of holds you back from exploding. These are things, little tricks you do. Sometimes some people hug themselves. There's a way you can hug yourself to help you feel safe. You are angry. This safety feeling can sort of give you a bit of respite while going through the process of anger, But sometimes you really cannot help it. You're going to be a villain in somebody's story. The most important thing is for you to learn from whatever outburst you've made, and pray you don't make a permanent.
Don't allow you're saying that managing
so
anger
serious that you have
requires
to go
skills.
to jail.
That means you're saying that it requires skills, not just to be able to manage anger or to be able to constructively use anger wisely. It requires skills. It's not like it's something you can really. It's a deliberate action. It's something you have to be intentional about the way you approach it, or you approach it so you'll be able to use it wisely. Else, you may just get out of hand. Bottom line, that's what you're saying in this sense. Okay.
Yes. And I think something I've come to realize about life is that every single thing requires, every single aspect of life requires a skill. And I think that's the reason why anger has been a problem for a long time, because
Yes.
we have not taken it seriously as a skill.
Yes.
And so our parents just told us, you know what, don't be angry, it's not good to get angry,
Yes.
but these things
Yes.
require skill. It's
Yes.
not just about being successful and making it. Is not the only thing that requires skill. How to manage anger
Yes.
requires skill. How to cook
Yes.
requires skill. How to
Yes.
walk in a way that doesn't harm your back, or how to sit. It requires some level of skill, because you have to have people that will teach you how to properly sit down, so you don't have back issues when you're. So the whole of our life's experience requires skill, but it's just that we've not focused on a lot of really important skills, because for the most part our parents just taught us how to survive and just get by in life. So that's why we have web references like this to help people grow skills, and not just people, even ourselves grow skills, or learn these skills and be intentional.
All right. Okay, Joy.
about life.
I'm gonna have to take it up from here. Thank you so much for this. I really want to read this story so I can just share some
No
of the things
worries.
out, because I really want us to have time for our guests to make some comments, or leave some comments, or make some contributions on what we're discussing today, because this is a general topic that affects everybody. Okay, this story, like I said earlier, I'm so keen about it, or because of how important the story is. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fine. So about the story, how important the story is. I ran into this story. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if it's just a real story, but it was posted, and the man that posted it is right here, Don Kester. He's right here, and I requested if I should read it because I fell in love with it. He actually titled it "Crazy Anger." It was the title that attracted me, "Crazy Anger." So here's the story. During our staff meeting, I asked everyone to share. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear
Okay,
you.
good. During
Yes,
our
I can
staff
hear you.
meeting, I asked everyone to share a day they will never forget and the lessons they learned from that experience. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a light-hearted discussion, something to make us reflect, laugh, and bond as a team. I had no idea that questions would unlock deep emotions, hidden pains, and life-changing truths that would touch my heart in a way I never imagined. I'm sharing this story because I believe it might touch you too deeply. It did touch me, honestly. So please listen. And this is not just a story, it's a mirror. One after another, my staff began to speak. Some told funny stories that made us laugh until our eyes watered. Some shared inspiring experiences that drew applause. Then it got to one of our newest team members, a quiet young lady who had only joined us a few days ago. She held her glasses, took a deep breath, and said softly, "The day I'll never forget was the day I lost my right eye." The room went silent. I could hear a pin drop. I looked at her in shock and asked, "Wait, which eye?" You know, the normal number, which eye they talk about? She smiled faintly. "This one," she pointed gently. "She's always worn transparent glasses, so I never noticed anything unusual, not even a hint that she was seeing with just one eye." Then she continued with a calm but painful tone. "My dad beat me out of anger when I was a child. He was furious that day." Remember, I asked you a question. Was there no, is there another way you can approach anger in case, because you mentioned that let it out, let it happen so they don't cause a permanent harm?
Okay.
I'm coming. I just don't want to divert from this. So let me go back. My dad beat me out of anger. I was a child. When I was a child, he was furious that day. In the heat of it, his hand mistakenly hit my eye. We tried everything: hospitals, treatments, prayers, but it was too late. I eventually lost that eye. At that moment, my heart sank. I was speechless because, truth be told, I had already planned to discipline my son that night. This is the man talking right now. He had done something earlier that really got me angry, and I was waiting for him to return home so I could teach him a lesson. But after hearing her story, my entire mindset changed instantly. And just when I thought the session couldn't get any more emotional, another staff member raised his hand to speak. He said quietly, "For me, it was the day I realized my dad could barely hear." Joy, can you hear me still?
So I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, good. He said quietly, "For me, it was the day I realized my dad could barely hear. His hearing got damaged because my grandfather once slapped him out of anger. That single slap affected his ear permanently." He paused for a moment, fighting back tears. Now, please, can you mute your audios, please? Thank you. Now he continued, "We literally have to shout when we talk to him, or write things down for him to read his ear. His ear has never been the same again, all because of one moment of uncontrolled anger." Remember, you mentioned something about controlled anger, controlling the triggers. One moment of uncontrolled anger. The whole room fell silent again. Nobody could speak. I sat deeply moved, thinking about how many parents out of frustration or impulse have caused wounds that can never heal. How many destinies have been scarred by the hands meant to protect? How many hearts carry invisible pain born from a single moment of rage? That meeting became more than a discussion. It became a mirror for all of us, parents, leaders, and guardians. You see, why I read this story, I know this story, like I said, it kind of encapsulates what we're talking about here, like the dangers of anger, the effect of anger.
Yeah.
There's something called causality, cause and effect. That is, every effect has a cause, and every cause has an effect. It's just something that it's a process. It doesn't stop. Once every effect you're looking at, something caused it, and at that effect that you're looking at is producing another cause that's going to produce another effect, causality. That's what that anger is. You mentioned things about what I said. I love the story. It encapsulates a lot. It kind of umbrellas everything we're discussing. You mentioned the myth about anger. I would like to mention some facts about anger. Some facts. You mentioned the myths, the things that we grew up knowing anger to be. Anger is dangerous. Now, one of the facts about anger is that anger is not a bad thing. Now, some people may say, "Wow, that's too loud to say." No, it's not a bad thing. I'm coming back. I'll explain that. Another thing is that anger is a choice. It's a response. It doesn't just happen. It's a response. It is a response to a cause. Something makes it happen. It is responding to something. So it's not really a bad thing. Why? Psychologists generally psychologists agree that 6 emotions, every man has 6 emotions encoded in them. We're all born with it. There are 6 emotions that we cannot do without. You say something, Joy, about one denying, or for the denying that they are not angry, or denying anger. That's one of the ways to deal with it, or to actually use it wisely, is to accept it. Now, and these 6 emotions that psychologists generally accept, we have happiness, we have sadness, we have anxiety, we have surprise, we have disgust, we have fear, we have anger. Understand?
Yes.
So that is one of it. We have anger. These are the 6 emotions all of us, every human has. And we cannot just do without it. We can't just run away from it, And it's not something you can say, "Okay, I don't know how to do it. I cannot be angry." No, saying you cannot be angry means you're not alive anyway. Because as long as you live, you feel surprise, you feel love, you feel happiness, you feel all of this inside of you. Definitely you feel anger, just like you mentioned earlier. So that's one of the facts about anger. And it has been a response, because it is something has to trigger it. You mentioned something about triggers, right? There are several triggers of anger. And one of your triggers when your early stages of dealing with anger, one of the triggers you mentioned was environmental triggers, because you said you didn't like the way things were going on in the society. That's environmental trigger. We have physical trigger, emotional trigger. There are a couple of triggers that a lot of things are triggered. So for you to be able to constructively use your anger wisely, or like you were trying to say, one of the things there, what I say is not anger is not a bad thing. One of the things, you need to understand what triggers your anger. That's why I said anger is a cause, is a response. What triggers it? And I also mentioned that it's a choice. Because some people don't know how to take responsibility of their anger, like the story I just read, or the story we just listened to. That man that actually blinded one of our daughter's eyes may not forgive himself all his life. That's because he couldn't control his anger. And looking at the effect of a father's deafness because of what the grandfather did, the children are suffering it. Even the son is remembering it, that father is not even there. There's a whole lot of effect, a whole lot of things that happens to us when we don't control our anger, when we don't use it wisely. And that is when we don't understand it. I'm glad you mentioned something like understanding, knowing. That's something I shared on my status yesterday. I think it went up today, yesterday. And that has to do with ignorance. But for some days now, I've been trying to talk about that. A lot of people think they know when they actually don't. And what even makes it more harder is they don't know, and they don't know they don't know. And when you try to let them know they should know, you become the bad guy. And they wouldn't listen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're the
That's
bad
true.
guy. They won't listen to you. And all of this kind of had to do with anger. Because when you try to tell somebody you don't know, let me teach you, the person built that this wall of defense built against you. Do you understand? And so we need to learn how exactly understand what anger really is and what anger isn't. So before I talk about the other one that's going to blow up now, one of the facts, I deliberately held on this fact about anger. Before I talk about that, one of the ways we need to understand anger, one thing during my research, one thing I found out is there's something called micro incidence response, which could also be micro level response disappointment, or macro incidence disappointment, or macro level disappointment. Micro incidence disappointments are all those tiny little disappointments that we ignore. Stuff like you took your time to look good for someone, maybe your mother, your father, your man, or your woman, but he or she or they didn't even notice it or even appreciate it and say, oh wow, Joe, you look good today, I like your hair, stuff like that. And you just let it pass, being ignored, all those little stuff, coming late. Let me share a personal story. There's a personal experience. I almost lost a valuable friend, a very valuable friend, because I came late for our meetings 3 times. The first time I was late, the person did tell me, Steve, you came late. And I even came like 20 minutes late. The second time was when the person mentioned, you came late the first time, you're coming late today again. I don't like dealing with people that come late. We may not be friends. I need somebody I really value, way older than me, somebody I'm looking up to for something, for encouragement and a lot of stuff. The third time I came late, and that was it, the person blocked me. You see, that is a micro level disappointment that I didn't even know that it was building up in her, that person, that gradually it had to grow to the macro level incidents, or macro incident disappointment, or macro incident anger, which is one of the things that we read from this story. From the girl's blindness, one eye blindness, that's a macro. It grew, and something that grew from a micro. Do you understand? Gradually, and got up to that. And why did I say that? If we understand some of these things, how do we handle this to use it wisely? When all those little micro incidents, disappointments are happening gradually, one of the best ways to handle them is to talk about it. Communication. There's also something I discovered about communication. I just diverted right now to discussing on one of the points on how to constructively approach anger. Communication. Most people don't know how to communicate, and that's a fact. Because the fact is, before you even start a communication, it already ended. And they won't even understand. They don't even know how to communicate. You say something very key. You said everything requires skills, and that's a fact. Everything in life today requires skills, and that's something we need to. That's something
very important.
Yeah, that's something we need to take home with today. Everything requires skills. Same with communication. Same with doing it. So for you to understand that one of the vital skills or vital means to actually use anger wisely or constructively approach anger is communication, and not just communicating, knowing how to communicate. And I can let you in on some a little bit of how to do that. There's something in communication called the clear model communication, or the clear model effective means of communication, which is CLEAR. Just clear, just spell clear. CLEAR. Most people don't. Thank you, Felicity. Most people don't know that how to even use that. What is the clear? The C in the clear model, C stands for connect. Before you communicate, before we started communicating, we had connected. Some people don't know you need to connect with the person you want to communicate with, or the persons that you're dealing with. The L stands for listening, which is where the problem is.
That's a very important part.
Oh my
the
God.
Listening part.
Oh
People
God.
don't want to listen.
Oh God. Oh God.
So they have their ideas, and then they think those ideas should override what you are saying,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. They are so impatient to listen. They don't know how to listen. And we have one man or one spirit, one God, who is a master listener. He will allow you to talk to him. Say what you want to say. He even says in somewhere in the scriptures, come, let us reason together. And I don't know why it's so hard for people, so impatient to listen. That's see you connect.
It's a skill thing.
You learn how to do that.
Then the skill.
Yeah. Then the E is explain. Now, some people are trying to explain to you. Now, there's a problem. Some people don't have the patience to listen to you when you're explaining. Some don't know how to explain either, because they want to explain. They're explaining out of rage, out of anger. In fact, they are arguing with you. Do you understand? That's that, and you cannot call that explanation. Okay, that's not explanation. Then the A in that is asking. They don't know how to ask. They demand. They make demand of you. They make demand that you must do this, you must do that. Then the R at the end of it is to resolve. When you start a communication that you do not resolve at the end, that communication is not over yet. As a matter of fact, communication is never over. Even when it ends or when you resolve it, that resolution is the beginning of another communication. Mm-hmm. And you see, this is one of the places that people have problems. You are noticing some micro level disappointment from your friend or your partner or your boss or whosoever it is that you are rolling with. You are noticing some of that gradually, and you can't communicate because you assume that the person should know what to say or what not to say, or how to respond, or how not to respond. You are now jumping the communication ship to the ordering ship, or to the supervision ship, to the bossship. So one of the ways, back to anger, to handle this, before it gets to, I'm talking about the micro incident disappointment level. While all of that is still happening gradually, communicate. Effective communication is one of the ways we can heal this. We have this captured in our book. So that's one of the ways to handle it before it gets to macro, because when it gets to macro, you may leave a permanent harm on somebody, just like the story we shared today. The girl has one eye, the man can't hear, all because of what their parents did to them, and other people are sharing in that harm that they are going through right now. So communication is key. It's not just handling anger. You notice that in all these emotions that we mentioned, the 6 emotions that we mentioned are encoded into man, which we cannot run away from, which anger. You see that anger is one of the most misunderstood, because when it comes to happiness, everybody knows what happiness is. Everybody knows what sadness is. Everybody knows what surprise is. When you give someone, everybody knows what disgust is. You cannot really hide from all of that. But when it comes to anger, people look at it like, and that's because of the misconception.
Yeah.
And it's something you can't do without. You cannot pull it out of you. It is inside of you. Now, this is where, just to round up with this, why I say you cannot do without it. One of the facts about anger, I say I will leave for the last, is anger is a shadow to love. Why did I say that? You understand what I mean by that? Can you help me out with that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Why I say that? It's a shadow to love. Can you explain that for me first?
Because somebody, you have to have a level of love for someone before they can affect you to the point of getting a boundary crossed, really. to some
Okay,
extent,
is it?
yeah.
Yeah, metaphorically, that's a metaphor I use right there. Oh God, we have 10 minutes. I'm going to round up here. That's a metaphor I use right there. Where I say anger is a shadow to love. Fact is, what is love? What is it that was actually one of the things that love is expected? Love is expected to love, to protect, and to what? Preserve, isn't it? To protect and to
Yeah.
preserve. And then love is an
Yeah.
illumination. Imagine that there's when you illuminate love to the full, light shines on if light shines on an object, which is like love is light, shines on an object, and
Mm-hmm.
if it's not if a particular object is blocking light, what shows next is shadow. And shadow is an element of darkness, which anger is a little bit of darkness,
Mm-hmm.
which means anger is always locked up to the love is always there. So if you love something or you love someone because you react, when you preserve something, you preserve because you care about that. When you protect, you're protecting against the force, isn't it? You're protecting against the force, and you're not protecting something against something from something you love or someone you love. You don't use love to protect. You use anger to protect, to fight back. While you use love to hold, to
Yeah.
preserve, isn't that? So as you're
Yeah.
showing love, there's
That's
some sort of anger beside it, locking around. All you need to do is let that love be a little bit challenged, be a little bit triggered, or a little bit kind of somehow there's some negative stuff coming against it. You will see the other side of you that you didn't even know was there. But the only thing is that you need to learn the skills on how to actually control your anger, use this anger effectively. Just see that's like just like our book, which we're going to introduce right there. The cover we use right there. Assuming that anger is fire, which allegorically people use fire to kind of interpret anger or use anger to interpret fire. Assuming that anger is fire, fire can be used for anything or used to do constructive stuff, negative stuff. However, it is how you use it that matters. But it's a tool given to you. So it is something we all have inside of us. So I don't know if you have anything to say just to add to that before we invite some of our guests who may have some
And can I
things.
just quickly say that something you can do without, you have to learn about. Anger, we cannot do without it. So let's learn about it. Let's not be like the previous generation where they demonized it or, completely pushed it down aside because they felt it was negative. It shouldn't get attention. Let's put attention, learn the skill, understand it. We can, and then take little steps each day to get better at understanding and managing anger. And that's a word for all of us, including myself.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. That's it. I don't know if we have anybody in the none of our guests. First, we want to thank you for joining us today. We have 7 minutes. We really want to close this at exactly 8 o'clock. We don't plan to stay more than that. We're taking time so serious. I'm going to thank you for coming. But if anybody, I don't know, should I call names? Does anybody have anything you may want to say or contribution? Please, we'll appreciate if you can say something. We'll be so glad. Okay, there's a hand up here. Who's that? Sorry. Someone's hand is up. Whose hand is oh whose hand is up?
Robs. ROS Robs, I think.
ROS. Okay, that okay,
Yeah.
please go ahead, sir. Go
Good
ahead, sir. Go
afternoon.
ahead.
Sorry. Good evening. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Yeah, my name is
Hello, good
Faith.
evening.
Yeah, ROS is my business name. So I just want to, like, everything you've been saying since we started the meeting was actually right, because me myself, I've been in a situation whereby I see myself getting angry at almost everything. I never knew I was having trauma of what had happened to me before. But there was a day somebody stopped me on the road and say, you're a good person, just try to forgive and you'll be fine. So I got home that day and I started praying. I was like, I don't know if anybody has offended me, but I know I was hungry about something, but I cannot figure out what I was hungry about. So I started praying. I said, God, help me to forgive. Forgive me while I forgive anyone that has offended me. And while I was praying, I was shedding tears and I could feel the calmness in me.
Yeah.
I was letting it out gradually. It was going. And trust me, after that day, if I see something that wants to trigger me, I'll just laugh. I'll be like, I've overcome this. You can't even bring it again. So where I'm driving at is, we as human beings, we need to understand that we are not the same. The way we handle situations are different. And we need to understand ourselves. When we understand ourselves, I think it will go a long way as family, as friends. The parental aspect of you talked about the father slapping the son, the ear is going blind, going deaf. I've also had an experience with my late dad and my elder sister. My late dad, he has this habit of watching AIT news at that time. So my sister knew this is what my dad likes listening to or love watching. This is his habit. So she just went there. She went to switch the TV station to another channel. And before my daddy could say any other thing, he took a cup, and the anger in him, we could see the anger in him. The cup he was using to drink his coffee, he actually used the cup to eat my sister's hand, and we could see the bone. The hand got broken into two. See, today my sister used to see that scar in her hand. So we the remaining children, we saw what happened. We just maintain. We understand what has happened, and we understand that okay, we need to work with my dad's anger. If we can see what he did to my elder sister, then he can do more than that when he's angry. So we work with him like that, and we tend to understand him. So in our environment, our workplace, and every other place we find ourselves, I think we need to understand each other. We need to know that we can never be the same. The fingers are not equal. So that's just what I want to add to the whole conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Wow. Thank you for that contribution. That's
one of the things we talked about in the book, where we, your environmental situation can also one of the ways. I mean, you learn tricks of anger. I don't know, but you know what? Long story short is, this generation, we need to be more intentional about how we, address anger and approach anger. So yeah, that. But thank you very much, ROS.
Thank you. I don't know. Does anybody else have anything else to say? There's a message. Okay, thank you. Ike say, let me. We have a couple of messages. Okay, this is from Felicity. Say you are right. Good communication skill is this key. Thank you. Great outing. Well done, Joy and John. JJ. This is coming from Doncaster. Thank you so much. And okay, thank you, sir, from Felicity. Thank you. Really appreciate what you guys have done. This is from Dr. Ike. And then thank you, sir, Amma. This is from, please, ROS. What's your real name, please?
Yeah, that would be nice to know.
My name is Faith, sir. Faith.
Faith. Oh,
yes,
now
sir.
I know who. God, I know who this Faith is. Faith, I'm so sorry. This is my sister-in-law. Oh God, can you imagine, Faith?
Nice.
Forgive. And my wife is here too. Thank you, amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
She said amazing. Yeah, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to introduce everything you have heard here and more that we couldn't because we didn't have all the time. We put in this 15-page book, Constructive Approach to Anger. How you can actually look at the content there. So you're rethinking anger as a feedback, not failure, understanding anger, what it is and how it works, why anger cannot and should not be eliminated, anger within the landscape of human emotions, triggers of anger. You need to know the triggers of anger, where it comes from, micro and macro disappointments, understand it better, turning anger into power, because how you can actually turn it into power, the pros and cons of anger, daily habits that reduce reactive anger, and living with anger wisely. Because it's something you can't do without. You have to live with it wisely. So this is just, you see, the pages are not that much. Like I said, just 15 pages. Something you can read in less than 10 minutes. You're done with it, conclusion, and that's it. And we just, less than 10 minutes, you're done with it. You can read it all over again. And we have this. We have this because we have this 1 month program, 1 month daily plan on managing anger constructively. That is with Stephen Joy. You can actually gain control, improve. We are going to guide you every day, putting you on through. Just say like virtually anywhere in the world, you can just some sort of understanding anger, having the skills, knowing the skills, just like Joyce said, everything requires skills and how you can manage anger, how you can live with anger wisely, how you can live above it. People may even get to the point they ask you the question, what is it? Why is it that you don't get angry? For example, I chose not to be angry, not because I can't, not because I don't want to, but I deliberately chose, no matter what, not to be angry because anger is a choice. Anger is predictable, and predictability determines choice. When you can predict something that is about to happen or is happening, you can actually decide what to do or what not to do about that stuff. So that is it for us. Then this book is only 2,000 naira. That's what we're saying it. But we're doing something to everybody that turned up here today. Please, we want to beg you for one more thing. We have about everybody that turned up. Oh, somebody just coming in. Everybody that turned up here today, we are going to be giving this book for free to all of you, just to say thank you. I think I know everyone, apart from Emily Nwokolobia. I think I have everyone else's number. Everyone that turned up here today, I have your numbers. So we're going to be sending this book. Joy, I hope you're with me on this. I know we didn't discuss this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. And also,
okay.
because trauma is one of the things that causes people to have anger or not, whether past or whatever. So we also help people go through the healing process. So if you need somebody to talk to, if you want to share your experiences, we are here and we're available to you to, be your healing body or hold your hands through your healing process.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I wanted to.
Thank you so much. So, people, thank you. We really appreciate it. So we're going to be sharing this book with you. Just these numbers. Okay, I think Felicity says, this is my take home. Anger is a choice. I think I need to read that because that's very important. Felicity says, this is my take home. Anger is a choice. From today, I have to be deliberate. Exactly. That's it. And that's a good take home. Believe it or not, when I learned that, not even too recently, I believe when we were working on this book, because virtually every day Joy and I were talking. When I realized that anger is a choice, that was when I decided no matter what it is, it's my choice to be angry. It's my choice not to be angry. I have to take responsibility for that, whatever I do. So for those that missed out on today's, because some people just joined, I know that I noticed, yes, Oge Anuku, Mama Oge just joined. And I saw, okay, she's no longer here. Mama Oge, sorry you're a bit late, or you're late.
I'm very much late. I'm so sorry. I just looked at my phone. I screamed. I said, God, because I was doing something else. I'm so sorry about that.
No, so sorry. Okay, ma'am. Okay, we really wanted to keep the time, so we promised to end at exactly 8 o'clock, and this is 3 minutes past 8. But the good thing there is that we have a book. I shared it earlier. We have a book, and it's just a 15-pager book, very short, and the book is rich. Trust me, this book is very rich. It's something you can read in less than 5 minutes. You're done. You can read it all over again. I remember when we were done with this book, even Joy, that is the co-author of this book, says she has read it 5 times, and she just still can't stop. So we're going to be sharing. We're going to be sharing this book with everyone that turned up today, just to say thank you. Even though it's online now for sale, it's on seller right now. Appreciate you for showing up and encouraging us today. Joy, do you have a word?
Basically, I'm just very thankful for everybody for showing up, and hopefully, as we continue to do more of this, we'll have more people to show up as well. And just thank you so much for supporting us, really. you. It means a lot to us.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. So we're going to have to go now. So we keep the time just like we promised. And we hope to see you. Oh, this person is just joining when we are leaving. Good Priya, sorry we are leaving. You're welcome. All right, guys. Thank you,
Oh,
everyone.
thank you. Thank you, Felicity.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Felicity. Appreciate. Thank
At least
you.
I learned something that anger is a choice. I learned something from the
Yes.
meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, when you read the book, oh my God, you're gonna be blown. Honestly, thank
Thank
you,
you, Joy.
Big
Thank you.
VP, thank you, Emily,
Thank
Faith,
you.
Felicity, Lobia, Faith, the other Faith. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.